Alright guys, so we're going to get to the footer and the login modal, but there's couple things I want to do first with this testimonial. One, the name should be on its own paragraph, should be on its own line. So where I have the emphasis right here, we want to wrap this in a paragraph. Okay, so we just want to go like that for each of these. So this will also be paragraph. And this one as well. Okay, so that's on a separate line. And then I also want to make the font bigger. So I'm going to go to my CSS and I'm going to say carousel dash item paragraph. And let's say font size 20 pixels important, and save, and there we go. So that looks better. Alright, so now for the footer, I'm actually using the same footer that is in the documentation, so we could also use the sandbox if we wanted to, but just to be real quick, let's go to footer. And I want the basically the same thing here, just different colors. So I'm going to copy this whole thing and paste it in, and then we're going to change up a couple things. So for the actual footer tag, I'm going to add deep. Let's add deep purple as the color, and then we'll say lighten -1. And then this part down here where it says footer copyright, we're going to use deep purple, and we're going to use darken -1. Okay, and then we'll change this H5 to about us, and I don't really want to use this text, so I'm just going to put in my own sample text. We'll do lorem 20, maybe a couple less. And then for the links, let's make these into actual links. So we'll do home. So this will go to index.html. This one will be for solutions. And then this one will be for sign up. And then we don't need this last one. Okay, and then down here we'll say Quazoo copyright, copy 2018, and then instead of more links, we'll say terms and conditions, and save. Let's take a look at it, and there's our footer. Alright, so that's done. Now we're going to do the login modal. So for a link to be a login modal, there's two things we need to do to it. So let's go to that button right there, which is this. One, we need to add a special class called Modal Trigger. Okay, and then we also need to have an href, which we do, but we need to change the value to go to the ID of the modal, which will be login-modal. Okay, so now we can go and we can create that. So let's go down to the bottom. I like to put any modals we have at the very bottom. So let's say login modal. So this is going to be a div with the ID of login modal and the class of modal. And then inside here we'll have the modal content class. We'll have an h4. We'll say account login, a paragraph, login to access your account dashboard, and then we'll have a simple form. We don't need an action. And in this form, we're going to have an input field, and we're going to have an input. It's going to have a type of email, and let's give it an ID of email, and then we'll have a label for email. Okay, and then I'm just going to copy that down, and then this is going to be the password. So type will be password, ID, okay, and then we want a modal footer, which is going to go under this div. Okay, this is the modal content div. We're going to go under that and do modal dash footer, and in here we'll have an a tag, and let's give this a class of modal dash action, also modal dash close, so that when we click it, it actually closes. And let's do btn, and let's do gray. And then for the text, this is going to say reset password. Okay, it's not actually going to do anything. We're just putting that, and we're actually going to put an icon in here as well. So right next to the text, let's do i.fa.fa-sync. So we'll put that icon there, and then what I'll do is copy this a tag. We're going to have another one, except this one is going to be purple, and this one is going to say login, and it's going to have an icon of a lock, so it's going to be fa-lock. So let's save that. Let's try it out. Log in. It's not working because we need to initialize it, so we need to use jQuery, and just for the modal class we need to call .modal. Okay, and this should actually be in quotes, and save, and now click, and there we go. Account login. It's not actually going to do anything, but it has, we have the UI. So our home page is now complete. In the next video, we're going to start on the solutions page.